Good morning, everyone. I hope you are having a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Sunday, May 7th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Let's draw the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread. First card that we are seeing for this beautiful day is the 9 of Cups in its reversal. So this does track a bit with what we got for our card of the day, which was the 9 of Wands. So there is this moment, even though we have been seeing that there has been a lot of cycles that have been closing out around you right now, there has been an overall feeling of a bit more protectiveness coming in around your own space and your own energy right now. We saw that with the 9 of Wands that we received in our card of the day today. And we're also getting more indications with this 9 of Cups in its reversal. So this is giving us a bit of explanation as it relates to why you may be feeling a bit more defensive right now. It's really coming from a space of feeling some degree of emotional or spiritual exhaustion, feeling like you've been pouring a lot of effort and energy into something. This could be a day that's requiring a bit of energetic rebalance or putting some assessment right now into some circumstances or scenarios that are requiring you to basically potentially overinvest your time and energy right now, and making sure that you are receiving back reciprocal in kind. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, the second card that we are seeing in our 5-card spread is our Page of Wands in its reversal. Again, a bit more in clarification on why you may be coming through with this energy. This may feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. There is some area right now where you do feel that some sort of communication is blocked or isn't necessarily going about in the most productive fashion. This could be feeling some frustrations as it relates to communication, as it relates to trying to convey how you're feeling to someone. We are seeing that there is some sort of energetic disconnect that is occurring that is very heavily on your mind right now. And it is this area that is making you feel somewhat depleted that is probably also resulting in some of that 9 of Wands energy that we also received in our card of the day. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, the next card we have coming through in our 5-card spread is a Star card in its reversal. Star card in its reversal. So again, it's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. This is a moment of having the desire to want to be able to move forward in your most authentic, expressive way, but potentially feeling that in some capacity, this is feeling blocked. So this could specifically be looking at some communication or some relationship that is feeling blocked in some capacity right now. And one of the reasons either you are not communicating to this energy right now, or putting some assessment in why this communication isn't moving in the same way that you would ideally desire, is this anxiety, is this concern about wondering if you can be your most authentic expression of self with this type of energy? Or is there something about this energy that is not necessarily accepting you or allowing for this point of acceptance? Now, for feminine, this is something that you could deeply be embodying right now. You could be feeling this very heavily, very internally as it relates to your own degree of feeling able to be your most authentic expression of self. While for masculine right now, this could be feeling like there is a feminine energy that you are feeling disconnected to, but you don't necessarily know how to amend or to correct with that communication, experiencing some concern that this energy isn't necessarily accessible or available to you, potentially putting up masks or feeling like they are kind of hiding themselves as to a degree, which would also give clarification to that 9 of Wands energy that we saw. Next card we have coming through right now in our 5-card spread is the Sun in its reversal. So this is putting a lot of attention right now on those areas that you aren't necessarily feeling like you can be your most expressive, authentic, vulnerable version of yourself, and experiencing some of the cynicism, some of the sadness as it relates to these areas. This is coming through to a certain degree as a problem that is really making you question if there is a possible fix to it, or is this a situation that you are specifically not potentially feeling that there is some kind of positive movement around. For feminine, this is a moment of acknowledging that while you may be desiring some communication around this energy, or you're not experiencing it, you are acknowledging that there's something about this energy that you're not in communication with that is making you feel underseen, making you feel undervalued, making you question yourself and your own ability to be vulnerable, which is why we see you embodying some of the cynicism or that degree of sadness as it relates to the connection itself, because that is what is depleting and draining you. While for masculine energy right now, there is this moment, this anxiety potentially around connecting or trying to communicate towards a feminine that you feel is in this energy, having some questions about whether that energy is accessible or available to you at this time, or if you've lost access to this energy to some degree. And it is this situation that is making you put this attention into some of the feelings of doubt or uncertainty as you continue forward from this point. Final card for the first 5 before we start to get clarification on these cards right now is, thankfully, and we've been seeing this in our spread. All of this is not necessarily saying that everything is lost. What we're really seeing here is there are tangible offers. There are tangible opportunities that are being presented to you right now. Sources in areas in your life that are allowing for some opportunity to come forward, allowing for these offers of stability, of these offers of security. And what we're really seeing here is because in the wake of these offers that are feeling secure, that are feeling stable, what we're really seeing is happening is a moment of assessment, is a moment right now that is requiring you to really put a lot of investigation on some situation or scenario that is basically giving you the opposite of that. Because you are experiencing that feeling of depletion. You are feeling a lot of that connection that is not in contact right now. And this is a moment that you're starting to lose your own faith in the possibility of that coming around, because we see that you are ready to move forward with these opportunities that are tangible, that are here, that are being offered to you at this moment. Now, let us continue to get some clarification as we see these cards. Clarification right now between our 9 of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Page of Wands in its reversal. So, feeling this moment of energetic exhaustion, feeling this moment of energetic depletion, particularly around some communication that you feel is either non-communicative, nothing coming through, or that the communication that's coming in is not helpful or productive or leading you to feel some of this drain, feeling underseen, undervalued, not feeling like you can find that meaning or that coming to terms at this moment. For some of you, this is holding back on communication as a result of this. May I please have one card to clarify? We have clarification coming right now with our 8 of Pentacles. Everything right now that's upright, I need to stress, is in the Pentacle energy. This is a concentration right now on the situations and the circumstances that are showing you in tangible, present, immediate ways that they are working, that there is something that can work. It's the fact right now you're feeling a lot of this, you're feeling a degree right now around these circumstances that are non-communicative, not because you're holding out hope. It's because you have to weigh them now with the tangible opportunities that are now coming towards you and having to assess what is actually working, what is clearly showing signs of productivity, signs of work, clear indications that something is working, that is calling even more attention to something that is not working. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between our Page of Wands in its reversal in combination with our Star card in its reversal. Going to feel a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. While for masculine right now, this could be feeling an inability or an uncertainty in how to communicate right now with the feminine. A concern that there is something about this feminine energy that is not accessible to you. That while a lot of your attention is directed towards this energy, feeling like in some way you are blocked from communicating, either metaphysically right now from this energy or just tangibly. While for feminine right now, this is a moment of really assessing an energy that is not communicating with you in a positive, productive fashion, or even at all, and really asking, having to have that point of observation in feeling underseen, in feeling undervalued, in feeling like you cannot be your most authentic expression of self at this point right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Two cards coming out to clarify right now. And wow, what two cards they are. This is important. This is very important because and this is going to feel very different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you are coming out of your heart space around this. You are looking at this situation from a logical approach. You are allowing your intuition to guide you right now. And what we're really seeing here, is this is a moment right now for the feminine that you are letting that higher knowledge, you're letting that higher insight guide you forward to the experience that there's something about the fact that this energy is not communicating with you in a consistent fashion that is causing an inability for you to be able to manifest what you are trying to manifest right now, that you are feeling this degree of your own chaos. This energy, it's not just the fact that the energy isn't communicating or isn't communicating in a positive way. And it isn't just the fact that it's making you feel underseen or undervalued because of the lack of communication, but you realize that that type of energy, having that point of waiting for this energy, is creating a moment in terms of your own life that feels like chaos. It puts you in a state that makes you feel chaotic. It puts you in a space that makes it hard for you to manifest. And you're trying to use your insight and your logical thinking as to how to handle that feeling, even as you have this concentration on this energy. While for masculine right now, and I must point this out for masculine, this may be interpreted as not either a singular version of feminine that is embodying these qualities right now, or two separate versions of feminine that you may be experiencing at this moment. For some of the masculine collective right now, this is simply feeling that there is a moment of doubt and uncertainty, because we see here that there is this moment of potentially feeling some level or degree of uncertainty or intimidation as it relates to communicating or contacting a feminine energy. Feeling a degree that you feel that they may not necessarily accept you at this moment, or they're not necessarily acceptable, but also having this point of recognition of wanting to reach out to this energy, feeling like they have this higher spiritual insight, feeling like they have this higher spiritual connection, going back and forth as to what to do around this or how to communicate, because having to figure this out is going to help address some deeper chaos that you yourself are feeling. That something around this energy and your own uncertainty on how to communicate right now around it is creating a sense of chaos around you. Or for some masculines right now, this is a moment that you are feeling some uncertainty as it relates to communication, not necessarily between two different manifestations of feminine. One that you are experiencing right now is in this space where you feel that they are not necessarily accessible to you, but a lot of your attention is still focused towards them right now, while also feeling some other energy right now that is helping you have some guidance, maybe even trying to offer some insight to you at this moment on how to potentially connect to this energy, but feeling this more spiritual connection with this feminine energy right now to try to amend some of the chaos that you are experiencing in your own life. There's something about this feminine energy right now and your own inability to communicate that is around some chaos that you're trying to amend in your life right now. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Page of Wands, between our Star card in its reversal in combination with the Sun card. So for feminine right now, having these areas and these situations and circumstances that you may not necessarily feel like you are being able to be your most expressive, open, vulnerable self, and experiencing some of the sadness, some of the pain around those circumstances and situations, really embodying those areas that you're not able to be in that space with right now. While for masculine, this is experiencing this moment of seeing a feminine that you want to come into communication with or contact, having some degree of concern about whether this energy is accessible to you at this point, and feeling some of that sadness or feelings of doubt or uncertainty as to whether that this is a fixable situation. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming with 2 cards again right now. And oh my goodness, what 2 cards they are. This is bringing to light some truth. That this is a moment right now, this acknowledgement of this feeling, this having to weigh this moment or degree where you are feeling underseen and undervalued right now, feminine, and experiencing the tower moment that this is causing for you, because it is creating a moment of accepting some truths, of having to come to terms with some things that are hard to come into to acceptance of having to see the truth around some circumstances and situations. And that truth, as difficult as they are, as it is allowing for, and we will say, the gift of a tower moment. The gift of a tower moment, because it is allowing you, even in a moment that could feel chaotic, that could feel like a point of crisis, to move away from some circumstances and situations that you feel are not aligned to your highest purpose. That there's something about the tower moments happening that are putting you in this state right now, that is giving you a point of acknowledgement of truths that you cannot deny. And that is what is moving these things out of the way right now that are not necessarily for you, while also feeling the pain of that experience, of having this feeling of not being able to be your most authentic self, and having the sadness as it relates to that circumstance. While for masculine energy right now, we see that this is a moment where some truths are coming to light around some circumstances and situations that you are experiencing, potentially around a feminine that you feel is not necessarily in access to you right now. Feeling some deeper sense of loss around this, feeling some of that sadness as you come to terms with some of the truth around the circumstances and situations that you are currently experiencing a tower moment on. Potentially even right now, masculine, there could be a tower moment that's happening in your life right now that is making it so that you cannot necessarily connect with this energy as well, which also could be some of the truth that's becoming evident in this moment that is creating some of this feelings of sadness or loss. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our Sun card in its reversal in combination with our Ace of Pentacles. A moment right now where you are embodying, and this could feel a little back and forth right now, let's be honest, because these are very contrary situations. Having some opportunities, some tangible offers and opportunities being presented before you right now, and allowing, but even in the wake of these offers and opportunities coming towards you right now, having to have this point of grief, weighing some of this loss that you are experiencing right now, and balancing it with the new opportunities that are approaching you in this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Hierophant. There is this moment that is coming through right now of getting to a sense of order, that things are moving into a deeper degree of commitment. And it is this deeper degree of commitment, these opportunities, and it almost feels like you can't deny these commitments that are coming forward, that you're experiencing them becoming more firm, becoming more stable, but also feeling some setback, some sense of loss around that, even as these things are becoming more structured, because you have to let go. You have to have some of that shedding process that we're seeing, even in the light of it. Continuing to get clarification right now between our Eight of Pentacles in combination right now with our High Priestess and the World in its reversal. For feminine right now, this is a moment that you are essentially going through 2 very different feelings, because while there are some areas right now that you are accepting, still feels a little disordered, still feel a little chaotic, still are creating some spaces that are making it hard for you to manifest, and having some attention on this. We see that there is this deeper degree in this commitment to setting yourself on the path that is going to allow for the most functional, productive path going forward. And this is going to feel like you are kind of moving out of your own heart space into that logical thinking, into that more intuitively guided motion right now. Allowing that moment to come into your headspace and operate in that more cerebral situation to guide you as you continue forward in its work to move yourself out of the space of chaos. Or for masculine energy right now, we see that there is this moment that you are currently experiencing, that there is something in around you right now that is creating a point of uncertainty and chaos. And even while you are experiencing a manifestation of feminine right now that you feel is in their high priestess energy. So I will point out, while you're feeling some of this connection to them right now, it might not necessarily be in the space of being as romantic or as feeling as physical right now, having more of a cerebral communication that's needed in some capacity right now. As you focus on your own work, as you focus on trying to be more productive, may I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with Four of Pentacles, 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 Pentacles. Everything is about what is tangible right now. This is where we're also seeing some of that Nine of Wands energy coming back, because there is a degree of withholding that is occurring right now. There is some anxiety and holding back that is happening. For feminine right now, this is feeling a deep degree of trying to build this security for yourself in trying to put something together right now, maybe not necessarily revealing all of what you're doing right now, or specifically being very protective on the stability you're trying to create for yourself in this moment, because we see that you are working from a space of guarding your energy, wanting to prevent any circumstances and situations that may potentially come up that would try to create any sense of chaos or move you out of what you're trying to create for yourself at this moment. While for masculine energy right now, we see that you yourself are being very protective, that there's some things that you're working on right now that you are holding on to very closely, both around your own work and the things that you're doing, with a lot of support potentially right now, or a lot of concentration towards a feminine that you feel you are building this more spiritual, high degree of energetic partnership with, but also trying to manage or mitigate some situations and circumstances that you may be feeling more chaotic today. Maybe even potentially trying to get some guidance from this energy as you go forward from this point to help mitigate some of the chaos or frustrations in terms of what you are trying to create for yourself right now, and what you feel is standing in the way of that work or that capacity to do that work as well as you would desire. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our High Priestess energy in combination with the World in its reversal, in combination with the Tower and the Moon card. Very different energy for feminine and masculine, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is a moment that you are really coming into your headspace. You are putting a lot of work into thinking in that higher minded point, because you are working right now through some situations and with a mindfulness towards some situations and circumstances that have potentially either in the recent past or the present caused some point of chaos for you. Observing how those points of chaos were reached, but also observing that those tower moments are specifically tower moments for that reason, that there are some circumstances or situations that you need to potentially move away from right now, because they're just creating more disordered thinking, creating more chaotic energy, creating this frustration of feeling like there isn't something you can do to repair a tower moment right now. And that in itself is creating a tower moment, because it's making you kind of come to terms with the fact that these are tower moments, with the fact that the truth of these situations are coming to light, even as you're experiencing some of the chaos that is potentially rising up around these circumstances and situations that are causing these disruption points for you right now. May I please have one card? And while for masculine, this is a moment that you are effectively having some observation right now, feeling that there is this situation right now where you feel in connection with the feminine energy that you see is in potentially this higher alignment, is in this place of higher order thinking, is utilizing their own intelligence, their own intuition right now, feeling that gravitation point towards an energy like this in this capacity, even while you are experiencing some degree of chaos in your own life right now, recovery, having a point of recovery from some crisis, but also allowing a moment of deep truth to come forward as it relates to these circumstances and situations, potentially even in connection to this energy that we see with the feminine that is in this higher minded thinking right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with Two of Cups in its reversal. So a lot of this is an observation of some partnerships that are specifically not necessarily working towards your best interest. This doesn't necessarily need to mean a romantic partnership, but it certainly can be. It can be any partnership right now that you look or seek some degree or level of harmony in, some degree or level of equality in. There's something about today and the energy around it that's really punctuating the point on the fact that something around these partnerships creates this level of chaos, creates this degree of crisis, having some truth revealed on the partnerships that aren't necessarily working towards your best interest right now. For feminine right now, this is a moment that you are almost disconnecting from your heart space around these things, allowing that higher level intuition to guide you at this moment, even as you experience the loss of accepting this about that connection. While for masculine right now, this is a moment of feeling like you do necessarily potentially need to disengage from some partnership, while also having a lot of concentration and focus right now, or maybe even assistance as you go forward from this, trying to get some insight around a feminine energy that you think or feel is in this higher minded place, is in this place that can give you some point of advisement or insight as you go through this experience yourself right now. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, we've got the High Priestess and the Hierophant out here. So a lot of higher level energy coming through right now. A movement right now into places of more convention, looking for that higher insight. For feminine and masculine right now. So a moment that is pointing out the difference between the energy in your own life right now, those tower moments. Those moments that are creating tower moments that only create chaos, that only create disruption, that almost keep showing you in some degree or capacity that they are not necessarily aligned to your highest potential, while at the same time experiencing the truth, specifically because there are new circumstances coming to the fold around you right now. Circumstances and situations that are offering insight, opportunity, solidity, security, potentially even some degree or ability to learn and to be heard in those moments, really having to have the observation between the difference between these two places. And that is what is allowing some of this truth to come in right now for you at this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our Knight of Wands in its reversal. Knight of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Page of Wands. In combination with the Page of Wands, all the wands, this is the lack of communication that we're seeing here. That what we're real, and again, it will feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is an observation. It's bringing to light, it's bringing the truth of the circumstance and situation to light here. That while you are experiencing these areas that you feel could create this stability for you, that could move you into this place of deeper security, being heard, being seen, having someone that you could learn from and grow with versus some situation that is just creating chaos. It is bringing some truth of mind towards a representation of masculine that you feel is either not in communication with you or comes through in a very inconsistent fashion, or is who potentially you feel is operating more on their own vested interests than on creating something stable or unifying with you at this moment. While for masculine energy right now, we are seeing that this is a moment that you are feeling a point of uncertainty. You are pulling back in some way right now around some circumstances and situations, feeling the degree of experiencing the difference between those places that are showing some degree or commitment or ability to come through stable versus the ones that are only creating chaos, only creating difficulty for you right now. And in a way, what's interesting on this right now is this is actually this truth that's coming to light for you right now, masculine, is actually potentially creating a pause point entirely. That there may be some situation or circumstance that you feel you cannot move towards right now with the degree of passion that you would ideally desire because you are working through some tower moment that you are experiencing, even while understanding that truth in a way is going to kind of help you in this way as you go forward to build something that feels more stable in the light of the tower you are moving away from. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Four of Pentacles in combination with the Two of Cups in its reversal. So this is where we see some of that Four of Wands energy coming through that we saw in our card of the day for today. Because specifically what we're seeing is resulting here is this moment of having a lot of attention drawn today to those partnerships that you do not feel are in alignment, to those places that don't feel equal, that aren't allowing for that equal give and take, and feeling to a certain degree that anxiety as you withhold from them, that desire as you withhold from them, uncertain either on how to repair them or really asking if a repair is possible or necessary, or feeling this disconnection point acutely today. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Eight of Cups in its reversal. This is where we see that we keep hitting this moment that feels like a difficulty or inability to walk away from something. That while you are potentially feeling that degree, you're feeling that desire, you're feeling that anxiety around wanting to kind of potentially experiencing the frustration between having these connections right now, having these partnerships that you may potentially have a lot of attention on right now, observing that something around them isn't necessarily working, observing the fact that these are not equal partnerships, observing or feeling tangibly the breakage around these, and feeling that you must, to a certain degree, pull your own energy back as a result. We also see here that this is a moment that makes it very difficult to walk away from them. That these are not situations or circumstances that you hope to walk away from, and nor are they easy to walk away from. And today you may be holding back a lot, but you're not giving up. You're not moving away. You're just not necessarily ready. You're still feeling potentially even the frustration or the desire to want to move away from these, but not necessarily feeling an ability to do so to the extent that you would ideally desire. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Two of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Knight of Wands energy. So experiencing or having this point, it will feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine, this could be feeling today that there is a point of frustration because while there may be a partnership that you have a lot of attention to, you are having some anxiety about the security or the equality or the ability to balance this partnership right now because in some fundamental way, you feel that you can't come forward to the degree that you desire. You can't come forward with your passion. You may even be feeling potentially blocked in communicating today as it relates to this partnership. While from feminine right now, this is putting a lot of anxiety around some partnerships right now, specifically that you're focusing on with an attention to a masculine energy that you feel either isn't in communication with you or blocked from being able to move forward towards you right now to the passionate degree that you would ideally desire them to. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Emperor energy. Very, very intriguing. Now, what we're seeing right here, and again, this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, and this could be feeling, I will point out for feminine energy right now, that for some of the feminines, this could be a single embodiment of a masculine that is embodying both of these qualities, while for some, this could be two separate masculine energies, depending on where you fall with this collective. For some feminine energies right now, you are feeling that there is potentially a specific masculine energy right now, that though there is this partnership that feels like it is not necessarily in connection right now, and there is something about this energy around the masculine right now that cannot come forward with you to the degree or capacity that you would desire, you're actually allowing this to be a point of being able to work through right now, that this is feeling more potentially like a momentary pause or issue, because the masculine energy is coming towards you right now also as an emperor energy. So this is an energy that you feel is protecting the partnership, is in control of the partnership, has plans for the partnership, even though something about the partnership right now isn't allowing them to come forward to the degree that you would ideally desire. So this will be just the visceral feeling of that partnership, not necessarily being in connection point today. While for some of the feminine in this collective, this is going to be feeling like there is the observation right now of a partnership between a masculine energy that is not communicative or isn't able to come towards you in a consistent fashion right now, specifically coming to stark realization around this right now, because you have this positive masculine energy coming towards you right now, a masculine energy that is supportive, that is stable, that does seem to have control over themselves. They do have a plan going forward. They're moving to try to work in a place that you feel would be a protective partnership. This is that breakage point from this energy towards this one. While for masculine energy right now, we are seeing that you are in a moment that while you may not necessarily feel that you can communicate, you can go towards something to the degree or capacity that you are desiring, maybe even not necessarily in connection or communication with some partnership energy right now. There is something about this circumstance that is still creating this sense of you building this higher degree of balance for yourself at this moment, feeling even in the wake of something that isn't necessarily completely connected, that you are coming into a deeper level of control, that something about this does not feel like it is breaking apart so much for you. It's feeling more like it's making you get more serious in the wake of this partnership being where it is. It's actually bringing you into a space of knowing what you want more, even in the wake of feeling some of this frustration and going forward towards this partnership. Final card for today's spread, between 8 of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Emperor energy. And yes, it's going to feel very different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine right now. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is feeling that there are some circumstances or situations that you're not necessarily ready to move away from. Feeling this degree that you do want to potentially move away, but you're not necessarily ready to do so. But also feeling the support of this Emperor energy, feeling this strong masculine energy to kind of help you even at this moment as you are feeling this like inability to push forward. While for masculine energy right now, this is coming into a point of power, coming into your own sense of power right now, specifically in the observation of something that you do not want to walk away from or cannot walk away from. It's actually requiring you to get a better sense of what you want to do going forward. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the 3 of Swords. And so this is where we see some of that heartbreak energy coming out right now. As I said, 9 of Wands energy that we saw with the card of the day, it's not the most uplifting. There's a lot of pain that's coming through on this right now. A lot of things coming through on the surface. For feminine, there is some feeling of not necessarily being able to be your most authentic expression of self, even in the wake of new opportunities coming towards you. For masculine, there is a lot of attention right now to some point of chaos that you're either actively experiencing and you're trying to work through, that is bringing to mind some things that aren't allowing you to connect as much in your relationships, but also getting you into this place where you are feeling like you're getting better in terms of building an understanding of what you want to commit to right now and feeling the confidence in that commitment. But you're building that confidence through a point of heartbreak. So for feminine, this could be feeling a lot difficult because, again, feminine, this is a choice that they're making potentially right now towards the masculine energy that is standing in its strength, that is standing in its power, even while feeling this frustration about moving away from things right now. And this is what's creating some of that heartbreak energy. While for masculine, we see that this is that moment of feeling the fact that there are some situations and circumstances you don't want to move away from, feeling the heartbreak, but actually allowing it to build your own sense of confidence and power in the wake of it. Bottom of the deck for today's reading right now is 7 of Wands. So there is a lot of feeling at this moment about defending your integrity, anxieties around defending your integrity. Maybe even feeling right now that there are some situations and circumstances beyond your control that you're trying to push up against right now. But also showing this fact right now of putting a lot of concentration in, really, for feminine and masculine energy, asking right now what is worth fighting for. It's not the fact that there isn't a degree that someone is ready to fight right now, but a lot of attention being paid on what is worthy to be fought for, or what are circumstances and situations that are showing you would be pointless to fight against because they challenge your integrity and therefore they are not necessarily worth engaging with at all. This is not necessarily a point where anyone is backing down. They are choosing what they want to work to fight for and defend. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Please remember, if you book a private reading with me on my website, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you would like to have the reading. My private readings are done over video with the recording sent to you afterwards. And just also please remember, and this is the most important thing, that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never inbox you. I will never DM you. I will never tell you that your great, 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 great grandmother 3 times removed sent me with a very important message for you. The only way you can book a private reading with me is if you book one on my website. I want to thank you so much for having this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.